In calculating the integral of root functions, please pay attention. When you have square root of x, it means that it is x to power a half. When you have the nth root of x, it means that it is x to power 1 over n. When you have the nth root of x to power m, this is x to power m divided by n. So if somebody asks you to calculate the integral of root functions, this is basically following the integral of x to power n dx, which is x to power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 plus constant of integration, or in general, as we saw, x to power n dx. If you have the lower bound and the upper bound, it becomes b to power n plus 1 minus a to power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. So in this case, if we have a general x to power n divided by n, or you have the integral of the nth root of x to power m dx, this guy can be written as the integral of x to power m over n dx, which is x to power m over n plus 1 divided by m over n plus 1 plus constant of integration. And whenever it is a definite integral, you just substitute the upper bound, substitute the lower bound, and do the subtraction. So let's go back to our function here. We want to calculate this integral with function square root of x, which is a root function. This can be written as the definite integral 0 to 4 of x to power a half dx. So you can identify your exponent. It is a half. Following the formula, it is equal to x to power a half plus 1 divided by a half plus 1, while x ranges between 0 to 4. This in turn can be written as x to power a half plus 1, which is 3 halves, divided by 3 halves, and x ranges between 0 to 4. So this guy can be written as 2/3 of x to power 3 halves, and then substitute the upper bound, substitute the lower bound, find the difference between them. This is written as 2/3. You can calculate the rest of these things inside this bracket. So x to power 3 halves, it means that we need to plug in 4. You get 4 to power 3 halves minus 0 to power 3 halves. We are not really worried about 0 in this case. How do you simplify this quantity? 4 is 2 to power 2. So if I find 4 raised to 3 halves, I'm basically calculating 2 squared to 3 halves. But if you do the multiplication, it is saying that, hey, I have 2 raised to 2 times 3 halves. If you just cancel out 2 and 2, you end up with 2 to the third, or it is nothing but 8. Very good. So let's go back to our calculations here. It is 2/3 times 2 to the power 3, which is 8 times 2, or 18. 16 divided by 3. Here we go. So remember that, don't make this mistake. 2 to the 3 is not 6. 2 to the 3 is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. It's another common mistake that students make when it comes to these things. These algebra calculations. So this guy is 8, not 6. our next question is another root, which is the definite integral 0 to 1 of x to power 3 over 7 dx. So remember that when you have the integral of x to power m over n over m in general, the exponent is not very important. It can be fraction, but you're just doing algebra. M over n of dx, this is x to power m over n plus 1 divided by m over n plus 1 plus constant of integration, and in definite form, when you have a to b of x to power m over n dx, you just do the substitution. You get b to power m over n plus 1 minus a to power m over n plus 1 and divided by m over n plus 1. This is the same process for our exponent here, 3 over 7, and then following the formula, this becomes x to power 3 over 7 plus 1 divided by 3 over 7 plus 1, and then you just substitute 0, substitute 1, you'll find the difference between them, then you're done. This becomes x to power. If you take common denominator, you get 10 divided by 7. 10 divided by 7, x ranges between 0 to 1, which in turns can be written as 7 over 10, and x to power 10 divided by 7. Some people prefer to write this in root form instead of fraction form. So you can write this as 7 divided by 10, the 7th root of x to power 10. X ranges between 0 to 1. But again, remember that if you have x to power m over n, this is the nth root of x to the m. If you remember the algebra, the definition of root function or root expression, this is as simple as that. So this can be written as 7 divided by 10, and the 7th root of 1 to power 10, which is just 1, minus 7 over 10, the root 0, the 7th root of 0, which is basically 0 all the time. So this integral is 7 divided by 10 times 1, or 7 10